Paul Chapman joined here with Ben Kuzma. Ben, nice to see you again.
Welcome to the home office in beautiful
Yeah,
Kitsilano. Hey,
excellent.
you could teach old dogs new tricks.
There
Here
we
we
go.
are.
As I said to you, if Ed Willis can figure this out, you can do it. You shave too.
Yeah, shake that. Look, I was all on with Jim Carrey. Let's do this, but I didn't want to scare anybody today, so we dragged the razor today.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing this, and thanks to everyone for watching. Ben, credit to you. You got a hold of Travis Green. I believe you're the first media person to do so. Tracked him down in California. Wrote a story for us at theprovince.com, vancouversun.com. Really thoughtful. He's in a different place, obviously, than what he's used to. What were your takeaways from your interview with him?
Yeah, I think I wanted to approach it from a personal and a professional perspective. I mean, he's like the rest of us. We're trying to do our jobs. We're kind of isolated. He's on the home front. I found it really interesting, Paul, that he initially talked about when the NHL basically shut down a couple of weeks ago, and there was the 14-day self-isolation period, that he said that the first 2 weeks felt like 2 months, and that for 7 or 10 days, he was probably like a lot of us. He had very little motivation to do anything. But as he slowly started reaching out to his coaching staff, putting some things in place, some things with the analytical department, looking at some systems play, should they go back to work? I think that kind of got his mojo going a little bit. He said that he's got a little antsy. And if anybody knows Travis, he's all in. He's 24/7. He's all in on the team and making it better. So I think that was really interesting from a personal perspective, just handling the situation now with this worldwide crisis like the rest of us, but starting to get that itch. How can we be better if we come back and play? How viable will we be? Will we be healthy? Are the guys working out? There are some questions that he has, which is probably a good thing. He shows he's invested again.
You know, that's got to be the tough thing, right? You need work for a distraction, but I'm sure he really wanted to be with his family as well.
Yeah, he does. And I mean, his wife Sherry, he's got a daughter Jordan. He's got a son Blake, who's at 16, was actually at the Victoria Grizzlies camp last fall. He's a forward, wears number 39, just like Travis did. He's playing AAA in Anaheim right now. I asked Travis, is he kind of like you? Does the apple fall far from the tree? He said, well, the bad stuff, yeah, there's a little bit of that in him, but that's really interesting. I think, Paul, from another perspective, 8-year-old Brody, who has autism, nonverbal, for Travis to be able to spend time with him. I mean, the one thing about the NHL season, very little family time. To be there in Irvine, California, which is kind of southeast of the Orange County area where the Ducks play, to be able to go for long walks and just spend time with him. There's really something to that. But the funny thing that Travis did say, and I think here's my big take on the coronavirus. It's not going to take us out. The battle over the channel changer, the TV, I think that's going to take us out. And Travis said that he loaded Netflix the other day on his iPad, and he took some time to watch the Ice Guardians documentary, which of course was here a couple of years ago, and I remember going out and doing a story on it. Travis said he was going to reach out to some of those players he played with who were enforcers, just to kind of thank them, because he said, you kind of tend to forget. You're so involved in what you do for a living, you forget some of the guys you played with. So I think the interesting thing here, I'm hearing it too, is that people are reaching out to each other through the virus, and he's kind of reconnected with some guys. So that's pretty cool.
It's great stuff, and I don't want to get into the politics of it, but I mean, Orange County hasn't been too bad. I mean, obviously, Northern California's been slammed with this, and you hear some of the rhetoric coming out of the states that they want to open for business versus, really locking things down like Canada. I think personally, I'd prefer to be this side of the border, but he's in a unique place as well. He wants to be there with his family. That's where their life is now. So I guess he had to make that choice. But the way different countries are handling this, I think has to give us all pause.
It does, and Travis spoke to the fact that the Irvine area is like Vancouver. They're in lockdown right now. Stay at home. It's only essential services that you go out for, whether it's groceries or the pharmacy. He said, yeah, the streets are very quiet, and just around Vancouver. I mean, if you do get out for the occasional walk right now, it is a ghost town. I mean, imagine Kitsilano is a ghost town, which really makes me feel great as a citizen to know when I do get out for a little bit of air and keep my distance, that there's very few people about.
Yeah, good thing for me is there's a beer store a block away, so I can kind of time it and go late at night, practice social distancing, and still be
Yeah.
able to return some normalcy. Let's switch gears a little bit. You've also got a great story coming for us on Friday on Quinn Hughes. Now, again, we've dickered with this at the Southern Province in terms of like how much do we force regular stories on sports and how much do we just go they're not important right now. Let's face it, we know really ultimately where sports lies in terms of life and death, but we also know that it's a great distraction from people. So Post Media has gone ahead and they're basically calling the season by doing sort of the year-end awards. And you wrote on your choice of Quinn Hughes to win the Calder, which I think is, all Vancouver fans are going to be behind you on that one.
Well, yeah, and not to sell Cale Makar short. I mean, the Canucks had tremendous draft interest in Cale Makar. I look at it this way, Paul. Cale Makar is a great player who adds something to a very good team. He really adds that element. Quinn Hughes is the Vancouver Canucks. They don't get out of their own zone. He drives the offense. They don't have the fourth-ranked power play without Quinn Hughes. You see when he's on the short time he was hurt, or when he was out of that game in Columbus late in the third period when they kind of fell apart, what this team is like without him. With him, it's a whole other dimension. I've been talking to people who know him better than I do, and they agree that not to take anything away from Makar as a good player on a very good team, but the dimension that Quinn Hughes adds to the Canucks, they wouldn't be knocking on the playoff door without him. And that's my argument.
Can you make the argument? Okay, let's take Jacob
Sure.
Markstrom out of the discussion, but can you make the argument that Quinn Hughes has been more valuable to the Canucks than last year's Rookie of the Year, Elias Patterson?
Maybe in some way, shape, or form, because Patterson's the finisher and Quinn Hughes drives the offense. I mean, by that, I mean, does a guy make a bad pass? I mean, it's those long laser right on the tape passes, up passes. I mean, the Canucks, it's like Pac-Man with them trying to get out of their own zone without Quinn Hughes. And it's that part, the transition game. And then again, when he sets up offensively, you have to be calm, cool, collected, and really smart to be able to run a power play, to make little soft dump passes, little back passes, to anticipate where other guys are going to be. And it's that whole package that he brings that I think he's even more dynamic this year than Patterson was last year.
All right, well, great stuff for that, Ben. We'll touch base with you throughout this period of
Yeah.
self-isolation while we're working from home. You still cranking it out. Got some great stuff there. We got our Canucks at 50 series. You can check out on our website. So thanks, Ben, and best of luck to everyone out there. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, stay safe, people.